Mabuhay! Kamusta? My name is Dinah and welcome to Positively Pinoys podcast. In this podcast, I will share inspiring stories and lessons from my Filipino friends around the world and back home. I will talk to Filipino overseas workers who are making a difference in their own ways and Filipinos back home who are excelling in their fields that we can all learn from. So tara na, magchikahan tayo! In this episode, I talked to my friend in Raleigh, North Carolina because she's a mom of 2 boys who's currently juggling homeschooling, motherhood, family, and her book writing. I think she's the best person I could talk with on how she's able to keep her sanity intact as a mom when she learned that her son is going to do distance learning because of the COVID-19 outbreak. I hope that a lot of moms who are struggling to find their peace and balance during these trying times could learn from her because she's really the most calm and zen mother I know in my circle of friends. So, tara na! Magchikahan tayo!
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle. Michelle Altea Serbo Windsor. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean, stay-at-home mom. I also do writing on the side, and I'm currently working on my 3rd book. I also have a BA in early childhood education and associate in liberal arts and also business. So for now, just being with my family is a priority for me.
So I specifically asked Michelle for this episode because she will be very helpful to a lot of mothers who are going crazy and nuts to be at home with their kids who are all being homeschooled right now because of, as we know, the COVID-19 outbreak around the world. So I thought like Michelle is a perfect guest to be able to tell us about finding your peace and balance as a mom right now in these very crazy times of our life. Because like I feel like your children are in Zen. Just being in your house, like watching all your Facebook videos. I feel like, oh my God, like they're just like so nice, so zen, so quiet. But I feel like it's also because of your demeanor and your very peaceful aura and very, very calm. So I thought that yeah, Michelle is really that perfect person to talk about
Perfect.
finding balance and peace in these crazy times of having children around your house. So
Oh.
yeah, Shell, how's life raising boys? How old are Ethan and MJ?
Ethan is 6 years old and MJ is 20 months old. My husband's name is Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been really good. We're a great team. So we help each other out, at this time. And he also we've been married for 8 years, and it's just the same years as our cat. I say this I say this because he's really good at remembering things. So like he would just tell me, "Oh, this is the day that we first met in the coffee shop," and I was just like, "Oh, really?" I would forget things like that, so he would remember those things. So I'm really grateful for that. And so, anyways, and humor really helps at this time. Let's say, this too just grows so fast when we would remember, what happened before. We would use like BE, before Ethan. Oh, yeah, this happened before. This is like BE, before Ethan, or AE, after Ethan. And now we have to add MJ, this happens before M, BM, so it's a lot of juggling. But, we take it one day at a time. As parents, we also grow. There's no perfect parenting. And so we learn as we go. And we make mistakes, we become impatient, but we both love reading books. So that really helps us to grow in that too, like learning books about parenting, or just how to, for example, if we're working on something and this is hard for us, raising a kindergarten or something, we like to read. So we would
So you do a lot of research when it comes to parenting.
yes, and we learn as we go as well.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you put a lot of humor into your daily lives. Well, Michelle is actually one of the funniest people I know from high school, but your humor is more of like making jokes, but in a smart way, actually. And
Oh, well, thank
yeah.
you. I never thought
No,
of that.
really, because like I also remember your laugh whenever like you're just really making jokes. Like you have this very good and like really fulfilled laugh of
Oh, thank you
satisfaction,
guys.
So
I try
yeah.
to I try to practice my laugh every day, you know. No, so I think especially at this time. So I was just thinking about this yesterday, like lower our guards down. Yeah,
Not
just we're gonna make mistakes, as parents. So it's good to just lower our guard down, whatever that means to each of us. Especially if our kids are home. You know how Filipinos, my parents were teachers, as yours, as your mom.
a
So it's
very
kind of
great.
like, so they, you wanted what's best for your kids, especially education. So sometimes as moms or as we get too uptight, and our kids can feel that too, that uptightness.
I
So
think it's a very Asian culture thing, like with the,
yes,
especially the emphasis on education. Like, oh, you need to
exactly,
study now. You need to do your
exactly,
homework, or you need to be this
exactly,
and be that. I think
exactly.
it's a very Asian culture that we as Filipinos and like other Asian countries like Chinese or Indians, like
Right,
we tend to like really be, as you said, uptight, more
right.
so with education, or more so with our children really having to be serious when it comes to education.
Right. And it's good to be aware of that. And at the same time, I think it's good to, to accept and also like, what is the main thing here? I love my kids,
Yeah.
Filipinos, we are loving. We are loving. Ilonggos are loving. So
Yeah.
it's good for us to be aware of that. Also, like, how can I show this love to my kids? And that's the most important education we can share to them, through that. Based on that love, things will, go more smoothly for us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I understand. So any other Filipino cultures and practices and values that you try to teach your kids right now? I mean, you were what, 17, 16 when you left
yes,
the
yes,
Philippines?
16. Yes. So we
Yeah, you
immigrated.
were 16.
Yeah, 16. So 21 years ago. And I have this, I think the number one thing for me is being grateful, being grateful. Like always give thanks to God for his blessings and always say thank you to the kindness of others. Next is being respectful. In order to teach, we make sure we respect them too. We make sure we listen to them. Even though they are kids, they have much to teach us too. So I believe in respecting one another and understanding where they are at as kids, so, we can have that respect, we have to earn that respect from them and vice versa.
Yeah.
And third is being prayerful. Like after school, the kids and I would go to chapel to say hello and pray to Jesus, so it's good to have that, or just pray as a family. Fourth is to take a break in any forms. Sometimes we like to work, so it's always good to take it easy, either by going to the backyard, by the garden area, and have some quiet time, or just read a book with your kids. Fifth is that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah, because there's no handbook for parenting. There's like parenting didn't come with a handbook. No one has ever told you like this is the right thing to do, this is the wrong thing to do. And even in all these like books about parenting, it's still not enough, because like I'm just saying this
No, it's
as
you,
a
as a
teacher or
teacher,
as
you
an individual.
also.
But also, I mean, like, because I'm a preschool
Mm-hmm,
teacher, so
mm-hmm.
I've been telling parents like when they get to be so like, I feel like I've lost a lot of to discipline my kids. It's always about behavior management.
Right,
The
right.
issue for most parents are all with behavior management. And then I told them like, you know what, you have to give yourself some slack, because like
Exactly.
parenting didn't come with, as I've said, a handbook. So it's really difficult to figure it out, especially if like that's your only child, if it's
Right.
your first child, or all these things. So it's gonna be, as you said, like just take one day at a time, and
Exactly.
and
Yep.
take your time and be respectful. Listen to your kids because they also have the things to
Yes.
say, but then also at the same time, like, find your, not a superiority, but more of like, yes, I'm the adult, but also like, I respect you being my child.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
mhm.
No, I agree. And parenting wise, I think I mentioned here, let me see, authoritative parenting,
Mhm.
method wise, but we're not like, okay, we have to do this authoritative parenting. But what I like about authoritative parenting is, you listen to your kids, we listen to one another and we respect vice versa, just like what you said. And you try to understand where the kid is coming from. Let's say your kid is in kindergarten, you don't expect the kid expect him to behave like a second grader. So he's in kindergarten, he's gonna behave ways like a kindergarten. He's a 20-month old, he's gonna be like putting everything in his mouth. I think it's also, just like you said, take one day at a time. And also, forgive yourself, because we make mistakes and sometimes say, oh my gosh, I'm like the worst parent ever. So it's good to, you know what, I made a mistake, and I'll try to be a better parent next time. And yeah, and that's good that the parents are talking to you. And it's good to share. In that way we can learn from each other, inspire one another, and what are the ways that we can be better ourselves. And also, I want to point out one thing. Sometimes we're too focused to parenting that we kind of forget ourselves as moms, as dads. Sometimes if we also, okay, what do I like to do for myself? I mean, for me, I like to sing, I like to dance. So make sure you do what you like also. And that give your son a break from your parenting too, so to speak, and gives yourself joy. Like, okay, what do I want to do? And your kids will see that you're actually doing something fun for yourself, and they will grow. And you know what? I remember this. My mom and dad, they like to do this. And you know what? I'm gonna also make sure the kids know that I'm also enjoying myself here. That I'm just not like, okay, I'm gonna parent you. I'm gonna make sure your behavior is good. Things like that. So make sure also like that you're enjoying yourself. Okay.
And you have two boys, and
Yes.
even like just having two boys, each of the boys have already different characters and traits.
Yes.
They're not
Yes.
entirely the same. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's, how is that? And boys are, as for teachers and for parents, are like hard to
Yes.
manage.
Yes. So when we started this distance learning, it's been a struggle at the very beginning. At the first week, it was a mess. So we have like some things for us to do from the teachers at the St. Raphael. So we follow that, and then let's say Ethan is doing his work on the table, and MJ will be MJ will be on the side. Like, at first I gave him some Legos to play, like some Duplos. So they were quiet for like a few minutes, and then after that they're like throwing, yeah, throwing Legos to each other. And poor Ethan, he has to hide, although it's a game, but he's getting thrown, and I'm getting thrown things too. Because Mitchell John, before this happened, before distance learning, homeschooling happened, my attention is just for Mitchell John while Ethan is in school. Now my attention is to Ethan teaching him, so he gets into this throwing things. And how about me? You're not paying attention to me now.
Ethan is the only one who goes to school now, and when
Yes.
schools lock down, Ethan obviously gets his lessons from the teachers, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
MJ, because he has not started any school just yet, so he was with you this whole time until like Ethan has to stay at home with you.
Exactly. And he has like little gym class, like twice a week. So, but still, it's like a mommy and me class. So I would go with him. So yeah, definitely the attention is, just on him. So it's a change for him too. So I think it's good for us. This is hard for us moms or dads, but it's also good to be aware that this is also hard for our kids. This is a routine change challenge for them too. They miss their classmates, their teachers, their own routine. And my 20-month-old, it's hard for him too. So it's good to be aware of this, and let's take it easy. This is hard on everybody, for all of us. So we don't have to be like too crazy on emphasizing education too much. There's more greater at stake here. So that's why I emphasize love. It's good to be make sure that our kids know that they're loved, most of all. However we show it, taking it easy, or just let's just play a Monopoly, or I don't know, play chess, or and however, be creative basically in teaching them at home. Be creative and make sure they're having fun, and you also. And if you need to take a break, just I'm gonna take a break. Okay, so just most important thing is you guys you're showing that love to each other. That's the main thing. That's the best education. Our home is a foundation, and now it is like a blessing in disguise, like both ways. Now our home is now the foundation, and also the school is inside our home. So this is two ways now, and maybe God give us trusted us so much to share that love to our kids, in that way.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it was a bit of a struggle.
Yes.
When the homeschooling started, because you have this 20-month-old at home, and then all of a sudden, the older is now homeschooled with you. So
yeah.
Have you gotten now to to overcome, and like what kind of things you've learned and you've changed when it comes to making things work now? Because what is it now? Like this is your second week now?
Yes, second week. Yes. So the second week is better. There's it's up and down. There's tantrums here and there, and mom also has tantrums here and there. So I lose my patience too. So, but what really works for me now is the routine. I have this 3 things that I do. Like in the morning, I would start myself with prayers. Do some yoga stretches, exercise. Yeah, and then in the middle of the day, we would after we do our schoolwork, we would go outside and play in the yard, and we would go jog around with my kids. Let them play. And then number 3 is end your day with prayers and stretches again, yoga stretches, and then sleep. Basically just keep it simple. Stick to the routine, however creative you are with your routines. But it's good to make sure we are healthy, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
So that really helps me sticking to my routine.
So how did you explain to the boys or to Ethan what's going on right now? Like, what did the school also explain some things on why he has to stay at home and why he has to take his classes from home? What kind of, or how did you explain the whole situation of what's happening now to such young age boys and such young age children?
Right. So we were, so the way we explain it, you're right. He's too young to understand fully what's going on, but he knows the changes. He misses his routine, his teachers, his classmates, and just being at school. So basically, we just said that we make sure we wash our hands, like the basics. We wash our hands because we don't want to, let's say when we go out, it's really, it was hard for us to explain to in a way, but we just stick to the basics. Like, okay, we make sure we wash our hands and keep our distance to our friends right now. We do FaceTime with one another because this is right now, we wanted our family to be safe. So and it was for my 20-month-old, it's very hard because he's teething. So wherever we go, he would just put everything in his mouth. So we're like, okay, we just have to stay home, So here and there we would go drive through. We would go to, right now our field trip is going to Starbucks or going somewhere like once a week. We would go out like as if we're all dressed up like on a Sunday, for example, but we're just going to Starbucks, get a drink, or we would do karaoke. that's kind of like our thing now. My husband and I likes to do karaoke. So anyways, so we would sing, and we try to make it fun as a family, but at the same time too, just letting them know that it's good for us to be safe, and this is also a way of helping each other, to stop this virus, the COVID virus. So he knows it too, like the virus. So anyways, we try to not to scare him, just also tell him that that this is really important. That's why we're staying home. That's why mommy is homeschooling, and like we help each other. We are a team. It's gonna be okay. As parents, it's good for us to calm down ourselves, because these are kids. It's good for us to show them it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
So there is no like detailed explanation about, okay, this is what's happening is COVID-19 virus. It's just really more of like for them to understand that why we're doing this is
there is through school. We receive information obviously from schools, but then I'm sorry, I meant to. I'm kind of like talking towards my kids, so I tried to say it in a way that they could understand. But yes, the school, they really alerted us every time. I remember when we first heard about the schools canceling. Canceling was 2 weeks ago. I pick up my son from school early this like Friday, like lunchtime or noontime. I pick him up because we're gonna go to the beach to celebrate my husband's birthday. So I pick him up from school, and the teacher gave me some work for him to do, just in case there's no school Monday. So that's what so because we don't know what's gonna happen yet. And then so anyway, so I pick him up. He actually wanted to stay, so that was really sweet. He wanted to stay longer, but I said, oh, we already planned this. We're gonna go to the beach. So on our way to the beach, we enjoyed our time. And then the next day, we received news that the school will be canceled, or the classes will be canceled the following week. So I was just like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be like homeschooling and distance learning, things like that. So I was kind of more worried about the cancellation of school, because I just don't like the idea of teaching kids at home. Although I that's just that's why I send kids to school.
like most mothers in the world now feel the same way as you felt when you received that news.
Exactly.
Yeah, very, very honest thing to say, because like a lot of these memes that I'm getting is like, there's a reason why I bring my kids to school.
Exactly.
I want other people to look after them.
So I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna teach my kids? So it's, although we came from a family of teachers, you yourself a teacher.
You were a teacher at one point.
Yes. So I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. I freaked out, but Elijah and I just, I like to pray. So prayers really help me. I like to be vulnerable to God and the people, to my loved ones. So you know what, this is hard for me. I have a friend who, she homeschools her kids. She has 3 kids. She herself this is a hard time for her. How much more?
Even though she's already been homeschooling her kids.
Yes.
Oh, really? How
Yeah, because she likes, she likes going to the gym. See, we have this gym, Lifetime Gym, and she would bring her kids to the gym and she would work out there. So they have a daycare. So that's what she likes. So she would go for a run. Sometimes I would bring MJ there too. I would work out. I do my yoga, and then
you can leave your kids in the gym.
Stay for a couple hours. Yeah, that's a blessing. 2 or 3 hours. I would call her and then just ask advice. So it's good to reach out to other moms, and she's very prayerful. She would share to me inspirational quotes and Bible quotes here and there. So that really inspires me as well. So it's good to reach out to others. Let's help each other. Let's inspire one another. It's gonna be okay.
So yeah, on that note, you're the most calm person I know on Facebook. But how and where do you find this peace. Especially it's very crazy to on your social media. A lot of our friends or a lot of our loved ones would post so much about COVID-19. Turn on the news, you would see a lot of these things that makes us even more worried. Scientists and experts telling us that this is gonna be for a while. So when I open Michelle's Facebook, she's there with her very calming voice, thing that she's doing, and I'm just like, at least I have one friend who has page that makes it gonna be okay. Like at least like I don't know anyone personally who has the virus. I'm okay, my family is okay. So at least there's that one friend, and that's you.
Oh, that's very sweet. Guys.
Calm, like especially your voice is just so calming and so nice. And like you have all the prayers with you and like us to that. So it's like, but where do you get that peace with
Oh, thank you. But just so you know,
you have two boys? I don't have children. You're kind of like crazy. So like how? Where?
thank you, guys. Just so you know, I'm far from that. What you said, I'm far from that. But thank you. Just like I said, I like to pray. Before posting on FB, I must have recited my rosary maybe 10 times. I don't know. Or have read my morning or evening prayer, and like I did my yoga meditation. Also, I like to try to share things that are positive, and uplifting at FB. I make it my goal. Also, when there's so much negative things out there, and I think as my mom and my dad, they're teachers, so I think you're a teacher. I see that you like to inspire others, so I have that too. It makes me happy to inspire others, and I know it's a struggle right now for teachers, because their classroom is empty, and they have that spirit of inspiration, of inspiring their kids, teaching their kids. So my heart goes out to them because I know how that feels. So it's also good to focus and pray for them, aside from praying for our medical professionals. But sometimes we tend to focus on ourselves. I'm natural at this. I'm an artist, by heart. So I tend to focus on me, but it's also good to, let's pray for those who are sad right now, like the teachers whose classrooms are empty, they miss their kids, things like that. And I'm really grateful for my Catholic faith. It has helped me before when my mom passed away when I was 16, and also left my high school friends in the Philippines and left Philippines to go to a new and unknown place in America like 21 years ago. So my faith never failed me. That's what I'm holding on right now. In addition, I've been receiving counseling from this past trauma, So it has helped me to be a better person too.
Also, you also mentioned you do a lot of yoga and meditation.
Yes.
I believe like short meditation the moment you wake up, I feel like that's the most valuable gift you can give to yourself, just to be
Yes.
able to get through your day. I mean, like,
Yes.
probably hard at the beginning, but just
Mhm.
have that quiet time for 2 to 5 minutes for yourself.
Yes.
The moment
Yes.
it's already so valuable that changes your dynamic when you start your day.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
I
I
mean, I
agree.
don't do yoga, but I did free diving course.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in free diving,
That's awesome.
teach you meditation. That's like the
Uh-huh.
before you get into the water, you need to really learn how to meditate, which is
Yeah.
a lot of people we would have thought it's very easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, when you start doing it, it's like, oh no, this is hard. Like I hear all these noises. Like
Yeah.
so many things are going on in my head, like how can I take this away. But thankfully there's a lot also of apps out there that helps you
Yes.
meditate. So if
Yes.
hard for some of you who are listening, and there's a lot of apps there that would help.
Yes.
How long did you do yoga, and what
Well,
what made you do yoga?
I've been doing yoga, I think, ever since in college. Yeah, when I was doing taking classes at City College of in San Francisco, so they have like extra like credit courses. So yeah, there I took some yoga classes, and it's really helped me. It gives your body some peace, and there's lots of videos online. You can follow through, and even just closing your eyes, taking deep breaths. It doesn't have to be you have to have yoga. Just close your eyes and meditate. Maybe if there's a quote, like Bible quotes that you like, just repeat that. Like, I can do all things through Christ. Just repeat that over and over again. With God's help, I'm emptying my mind of all fear, of all stress, and all sense of insecurities. Just pick a verse, or God loves me, that it's going to be okay. Take some deep breaths, inhale, exhale. Really simple. It doesn't have to be like an elaborate, yoga pose, things like that. But, be creative. So just, what works for you.
And you're also the most versatile person. You have your husband, you have your 2 boys, and you have 2 pets now.
Yes.
You're also doing your passion on the side. Where do you get your time and balance on how to do all these things? We only have 12 hours in a day. And then the rest of that you go to sleep. But how do you find your balance? Especially now that everything is inside your house, or all these activities are most likely being done in your house? Where do you find your balance? How do you find your me time and all of this? Tell us, what's the secret?
It's funny.
As you said, like, we have to keep a routine. And I'm keeping her, but at the same time, like it's also hard to find the balance. Like, for example, I still work from here because we still have to do our online and distance teaching for our students. But at the same time, like, I need to also put a time of like, no, I have to cook something because lunch and dinner is in the menu, and all that. And then at the same time, I'm doing podcasting or the things that I wanted to achieve. And also on the side, I'm doing my French and other lessons. But it's hard to find balance. Sometimes, like, I get too much of the podcasting, or sometimes I don't get to have a time for my French. And then, like, sometimes, like, I only spend little time with my work. I don't know, it's all like, I mean, I try to stay with my routine, but it's still kind of difficult. So imagine if I have children. I don't know if so what's your magic, superwoman?
I'm not a superwoman. It's funny you mentioned that, superwoman, because last night we ran out of clothes. We did laundry, but we ran out of shirts. I went to my husband's drawer, and then the only shirt available was a Superman t-shirt.
Okay.
So that's what I wore last night. Like, so I showed you, I'm Superman. It's just funny. And we couldn't find the cape, because it's supposed to have a cape. We couldn't find the cape. But I know, it's just joking aside. I like to juggle, like literally juggle. So I have my juggling balls in my bag at all times, or most of the time. If I feel like juggling, or wherever we are, I give it to the kids, to busy themselves with a play with them, wherever we are. Going back to your question, it's like I have a choice. I mean, I learn as I go. I also grow as a person, as a wife, and as a mom. I'm blessed because my husband and I have the same goal of growing the best that we can be. So it's good that we are in it together and we support one another. We just, maybe you told me about your routine. I'm like, I can't do that. That's your routine. That's the routine that you made for yourself that works for you. And for me, I have to find a routine that works for me. And when you will have children in the future, you're going to make it work too. You're a mom. We are moms. We know what to do. God will give us the grace. Whatever, we're going through, we'll just be vulnerable to him. God will inspire us, or will lead us to people, inspire one another.
do you allow screen time for your boys?
Screen time.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, my boys, but not as not too much. And he likes to, well, we like to watch movie as a family together. And now his screen time is in school, doing some schoolwork. So not too much. And he's not crazy about it either. So it's not a problem for us. Yeah, and if he'll be like really into it in the future, so we make sure that it's balanced. Or like, okay, do your homework first, then you can watch Garfield. Right now, this is what we do. Okay, do your homework first, then you can watch Garfield. We can't just like, okay, this is free, you can watch whatever, you can watch this show. So we always make sure that it's more of a treat, rather than, so I think so he'll know that, what, it's good for me to do this one good thing before I can have this, I could watch something, or have some screen time. So it's good to limit it.
What's the gadget that you introduced to him?
So we have the iPad, and I think we have my husband is more the techie one. I think we have the Nintendo or whatever is nowadays, I don't know, PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah. So and my husband would play with him, or we would play together once in a while. Thanks for the idea. We'll probably do that today. We haven't done that in a while.
No, I'm just asking because like a lot of parents would resort to screen time or to gadgets, which is, I believe, like for young age children, it's not very appropriate.
Yeah.
Where it's really teaching them to be addicted to something. So
Mm-hmm.
as a teacher, I don't really agree on
Right.
gadgets or screen. I mean, there should be a limit at least.
Right. Yeah. Moderation. Just
Moderation.
moderation is good.
So, speaking of doing your own passion, you're writing your third book on poetry and short stories. So, Michelle has recently released her two books. So, it's a book about poetry, and well, you can tell us about it. So, what are you writing on, and when did the writing started for you, or your passion?
Yeah. So
Time to do that again, you superwoman.
I'm not a superwoman. So I believe, if I ever see, I need my husband to tell me when I started. I started writing early this year. I started my first book is A Season of Feelings, and then my second one is gosh, I forgot what my second one is now. Sorry, growing something.
Growing roots.
Thank you, thank you. See, all this homeschooling. Right? Yes, so A Season of Feelings and Growing Roots. So I'm working on my third book now. So basically, A Season of Feelings is, yes, I wrote some poetries and short story. They're more in the inspirational, and also being grateful grateful for our teachers. There's a poem there. There's a big poem about being grateful to our teachers there. I wrote a poem about like watering the plants. It's basically from my mom. I was inspired by my mom. One time, like on Saturdays, she would ask me to water the plants with her. And then I was like, Mom, it's a Saturday. Why would you want me to water plants on a Saturday? We should be doing more fun things. This is in high school. The high school, it's a college now, the public school that our moms taught. So we would go there and water the plants, the garden. So, and then now I realized that for her, it's taking a break. Watering the plants is taking a break. It's outside of ourselves. It's like watering the plants, like water the garden. It's taking a break. And I think she's a teacher. She's with the kids all the time, with the students. But actually watering the garden, it's a form of taking a break, being at peace. But for her, it's a prayerful way of taking a break.
Nice way to see it, because Nana used to do that with me too. Like she would
Yeah.
drag me on a Saturday to go to high school.
Oh, is that right?
High school and water her garden in the school. And I'm like, Saturday, it's like what,
Yeah.
in the morning when
Yeah.
the sun is so hot, and like
Yeah.
school
Exactly.
and water my garden there. Now that
Yeah.
you it's I would
Yeah.
totally agree with you that it's
Yeah.
a prayerful moment or calming moment for them.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like watering the plants. It's taking care of ourselves too.
Mm.
So, I felt like my mom was teaching me, you have to take care of yourself too. Water the plants, take care of yourself.
What about the growing roots? What is the book about?
So the growing roots, I also started it with a lesson I learned from my dad. It's this poem. It's like a cheer poem. It's like good, better, best. Never let them rest till the good is better and the better best. Yeah, so that really stuck to me when he shared that. I believe in high school that God created us in His own image and likeness, so he wants the best for us. So it's also good, we keep going. Yeah, good, better, best. Never let them rest till the good is better and the better best. We keep going. And it's gonna be okay. We just keep going.
As you mentioned, you're working on your third book now. That's
Yes.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
what is it about now? So, mostly it's poetry, right?
Yes, it's poetry. It's more of a narrative poetry, like a storytelling poetry. It's basically of what I experience, or what I learn from others. What I learn like when I go to mass, or if I read a good book, like what I got out from it. So I share that, and just that really touched me deeply. So and yeah, to hopefully to inspire whoever is reading it.
So, your
And
third book is about what?
so my third book is right now. So my third book is like a continuation, and I don't have a title for my third book yet, but right now it's kind of like more letters to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like also looking back, just if she would have been alive, what are the things that I'm gonna say to her, and also like I share to her what I'm going through right now. I like, dear mom, like that. Or I would share to her that, oh, mommy, I'm singing, in the choir. I know you love to sing, things like that. And there was this time I saw her, like, she gets nervous before she sings at the school, like whatever, if she sings like the national anthem. I think there's the coin. I don't know if it's a Filipino thing. There's this coin she would put in her stockings,
Okay.
and she would put on her stockings on her leg,
Uh-huh.
and she would crumple that stocking, and then she said that if it would prevent her from getting nervous, when she sings. So anyways, so I was just writing, and then I said, now I get nervous too before I cantor at the mass. I cantor on Saturdays. What I would do, I would on my way driving, I would listen to like songs, or like voice warm-ups. I would scream, or I would do this voice warm-ups, and then I was like thinking maybe like the car before me would see me like screaming, what's wrong with this lady? You're like, oh, So anyways, I said, oh, mom, so much have changed nowadays, from putting coin on your stockings to like screaming in the car. So anyways, my third book is kind of about that, having the conversation with my mom. And she's in my heart. It's not like she went away. She's in my heart, so I could still have the conversation with her. Hopefully I'll probably release it in May or June. Thank you, guys.
If I may quote Oprah Winfrey on this, that she always said to some of her guests or her friends that if you have a very dearest close person that you lost in your life, you have now an angel that has a name.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I like.
An angel with a name. So in your
Exactly.
career,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Caridad.
and
Yeah, thank you.
I always believe like they never parted, like especially the person who has greatly impacted or has really like a, in your case, your mom, who has a bigger connection with you, I
Yeah.
spiritual wise or whatever
Yes.
people
Yes.
will say, but there, like, in your
Yes.
heart that she's always present, and as you said, you still talk to her, and
Mhm.
I'm sure she's very, very proud of you now of how you're raising.
Oh, thank you.
But what else from your memory, from your from your childhood to growing up, that do you think like has you have taken from your mom as, as a mother now?
I remember, let's see, when I transferred from public school, I was in kindergarten public school, and she asked me if I went to transfer to a private school for first grade. So we went to the school, St. Paul School, and the classrooms there. We already signed up and all that. And before I go inside the classroom, she asked me, Michelle, do you want to go in this school? So I said, yes, mommy, I want to go in this school. She asked me, she gave me that voice, she didn't, oh, just go ahead there, So I think that really impacted me. And you know what? I'm going to give my kids a voice too. I'm going to listen to them and vice versa.
I think it's the little things that, again, for parents, sometimes, parents overdo so much of their actions towards their kids. But actually, it's really if we look back to our own childhood, to our own experiences, the things that, like kind of retain in our memory and are those like that has really impacted our feelings. Like,
Yes.
it make us feel at that time. It's not the words that they say, it's not the things that they did, it's really on how it made us feel at that moment.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, you're doing a good job,
Well,
and
thank you. Try.
that's why, like, you're the perfect person to
No.
share. So yeah, like, I guess for conclusion, what can you give us as advice, especially for mothers, for wives, for females or women right now, on how to find their balance and peace, and at the same time being able to still do your passion, especially in this trying times of our world right now.
Yeah, in such a fast-paced world, for me, just for moms to slow down, for all of us to slow down, take a break, read a book, do your prayers. Let's do our prayers, like do yoga stretches or other exercise. Take deep breaths, dance, sing, be creative. Our God is a creative God, a priest once said, so it's built in us. We just have to find that. And also, let's share our joys and pains. Reach out. It's okay that we can do it by ourselves. Let's be vulnerable to God and to our loved ones. When we do that, it's not being weak, it's being strong. God chose Mary, a woman, to be the mother of Jesus. Mary is a good and best role model for us all. She's humble and strong. She's obedient to God and followed his will for her. Like, she listens. I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done to me according to your word. Let's do our Hail Marys so she can teach us to focus on Jesus, especially at this time. And routine-wise, peace and balance in these trying times. Just like I said before, like, let's do a prayerful and healthy routine every day. Like, start our day with prayers. Exercise. For me, I mentioned I do yoga stretches, and I would do like praise and worship instrumental or yoga meditation in the background. Or you could also do find videos, yoga videos or stretches and exercise. So start your day with that, and in the middle, spend time with family, do workout together, and make it fun. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Treat yourselves with some wine here and there. Date night for couples. Get the communication and spending time with one another. Drink moderately, of course. Go outside in the backyard if that is possible in your area to get some fresh air. Jog around and let the kids play or play with them. End your day with prayers, yoga stretches, exercise, and sleep. So if you have those three things, be creative, like just 3 routine, like keep it simple, 3 things so you do every day. You can do it same time if that is a possibility. Just a note here, be connected with your parish or via live masses, prayers, and other inspirationals like your podcast. Be connected to your loved ones and friends. Be connected to your friends in the neighborhood as well, by phone, text, Facebook for the coronavirus. But if it's getting you worried even more, make sure to take a break from it and read a good book. It's healthy for us to get our mind off on things too. Our emotional health is also at stake here. It's good to be aware, perhaps confide to a friend and let her know about this, so she'll probably report to you when it's urgent, so you don't find yourself scrolling on FB or on Facebook and it's becoming too much to bear. These are the examples that work for me. But be creative as you can be, but routine really helps.
Thank you for that.
Just want to add, it's hard for all of us. It's like we attended this live mass, and I got really something from it. We experienced some kind of death, some kind of dying at this time. The good thing about it is, like, it's good for us to center ourselves in Jesus. He says, I am the resurrection and the life. Like, whoever believes in me, if he dies, will live. It's like we experience this. This is like a dying, it's like a death right now, that we, in wherever we are. Everybody experienced this, whether staying at home, Philippines, wherever you are in America, all of us experience this. So again, it's like some kind of dying. So it's good for us to focus ourselves in Christ. And if we need help with that, ask Mother Mary to help us to center ourselves in Jesus. And I think whatever our situation is, God will help us through.
Maraming salamat sa pakikinig. You can subscribe or download to this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Just search for Positively Pinoys. See you next time. Until next chikahan. Ingat!